Welcome to Star Citizen, and today we're taking a look at the Aegis Avenger Titan. It's considered a courier transport ship. Note as I didn't say a freight ship because it's got only 8 units of space. There are actually 4 types of this ship. We have your standard Avenger Titan, then we have the Avenger Titan Renegade, then we have the Avenger Stalker, and the Avenger Warlock. The Titan and Titan Renegade are pretty much the same, with just a minor difference in the stock loadout. Renegade coming with ballistic weapons, while the standard variant has 2 lasers, 1 ballistic weapon. Now then, the Stalker is a wee bit of a different beast. It isn't as maneuverable and does not have as great of a combat speed, but its maximum speed is better than all the rest. Now, it does not have much space, so does not the Warlock. But a Warlock is a beast of its own. Warlock is the one that stands out of all of these. That's because it's got an EMP in the back, which can knock ships out for 5 seconds around 1 kilometer radius. It does have a charge up time and actually might not be as useful as you think it is. But today we're gonna focus on Avenger Titan. For a courier ship, it's got pretty big weapons. It's got 1 size 3 and 2 size 2s. For my preferred loadout, I've put in a Panther instead of the ballistic weapon and 2 FL-22s as the size 2 weapons. I've kept it all laser weapons for the longer period of use, just in case I plan to do a couple of bounties or something. The ship's got better maneuverability than some of those heavier medium freight ships, or what I consider medium freight ships, and it's not as agile as your standard fighters, but it tries to make up for it with more firepower, bigger health pool, and having 2 shields. So it's still pretty capable against NPCs. I'd say this loadout can be tweaked a little for your own preference, like putting industrial power plant for example, or perhaps shields that don't really overheat. I mean, it's all in your preference and what kind of loadout you want. As for the missiles, I don't really plan to use them, although I kept ignites because, yeah, they have a decent damage for rather fast locking time. The ship itself actually has quite a bit of room. It's spacious enough to carry boxes, dead bodies, armors, everything. You can really fit a load in here. I picked up everything that I could carry and even then some, and the ship is only 3% filled. There's more room in this ship than you actually need. You can loot all the boxes inside the bunker, fill up your ship with whatever was inside, and you will still have plenty of room to spare. If you actually fly your little hover bike or bike close enough to the ground, you can actually fit it inside this ship. Now, it does not fit much bigger things. It can't fit an ROC. It's a really tight fit even for this bike. As you see, it goes slightly sideways and then it went inside. It's not really meant to carry a hover bike or any vehicle in general, but it can fit here. Now, ideally, you might want to use it for your little box missions, set up Prolonide or deliver some boxes or something like that. Ideally, I believe this ship has a bit more potential than that, but if you're a new player, I believe this is one of the best ships that you can actually have. It's just that flexible. It's got firepower, it's got speed, it's got enough maneuverability to be reasonable, it's got room and everything in between. One other thing I really like, it's got landing gear with wheels. So landing at speed won't really unbalance the ship as you may see with many others. It landed pretty nicely and is quite stable. As for the interior, it's got plenty of room in the back, although the living quarters are quite cramped. And it's got a cockpit, which you can enter from either the stairs, like I'm doing right now, or from the side. The ship itself is kind of like the hybrid between your little transport missions, bounty hunting missions, exploration. Whenever I pick this ship, I can easily switch between bounty hunting missions, delivery missions, just clearing a bunker. Because I can just store everything in the back if I need to, and I have enough firepower to do some proper fighting. Now, is it the best ship? Definitely not. It's kind of like the jack of all trades, but somehow in a good way. It's not really a freight ship. That is one thing you really probably don't want to do with this ship, because the 8 units of space is not really that much. An extra comfort with this ship, of course, is having all the firepower even if you lose your wing. Although you lose your rockets, you still have all the weapons other than the rockets available. And that, I believe, is one really good aspect of this ship. Now, it does lose some control, but it is a lot more stable than most other ships that lose a wing or a thruster or something like that. I would even go as far as, if you can buy this ship at the start instead of your Aurora or Mustang, take it. At first you might not understand it, but in the end you won't regret it. It's even a rather expendable ship, and reclaiming it takes less than a minute. It's definitely worth it. Considering the superior firepower, interior, spacious, while being flexible enough to do most missions without any problem whatsoever. Now, ideally, if you want a fighter, of course, this might not be the ship for you, especially if you're a hardcore PvP fighter. But if you do these little bounties, defending yourself, or perhaps criminal work trying to take down some bunker defenses, this firepower is just great enough and good enough to take down whatever may be harassing you or may be on your way. It's not really a subtle ship, but you don't need to be subtle with your size 3 weapon. Even the stock variant or the stock weapon of this ship and stock loadout is reasonably good. You don't need to change anything. The ballistic size 3 weapon in the nose packs a hell of a punch, and I guess I can keep it at that. Everybody says this ship is great. I have to agree, it's really flexible. It has a bed, it has room in the back, it has enough inventory space for whatever, and you won't regret it at all. Anyways, thanks for watching.